Hare Hare. Last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. That's what we should offer to Krishna. It's not about the melody, it's not about the words, it's about the Supreme Lord. And whenever you will come to the temple, don't pay attention what kind of cloth you wear, how you looking, how you singing. Just what? Start together. Last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And don't stop.
And please continue Prabhu till Prabhu come.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you want?
Yes.
Let us chant some another melody, but the name is the same. And keep this mood the same, okay? Don't change.
Okay.
Is someone? Okay. Damodari, it's you. It's you, yeah? Hare Krishna. Okay. Then you have better cream now. The holy name in the class. Yeah. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shishi Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Shishi Gaur Nitai ki jai. Sadhu Sangha ki jai. Mahamantra Hare Krishna ki jai. Sadhu Sangha ki jai. Go Premanandi.
Haribol. Marshinga Prabhu ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Marshinga Prabhu is living in Mayapur Dham, for those of you who don't know. And I think every summer you come to Europe. You come every summer to Europe, yes. His daughter lives in Switzerland, so thank you so much for taking the time. And also, how did you like the violin? Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Welcome, dear guests, dear devotees, to our Sunday program. Herzlich willkommen zu unserem Sonntagsfest. Gibt es jemand, der oder die kein Englisch versteht? Okay, everybody understands English. So now we're going to have a lecture. Hare Krishna. Anyone here for the first time? Yes, we have guests from Germany, a whole group who came. Nice that you came for the first time. And what is your name? Uzi. Welcome. Thank you for coming today. We have a very special guest with us today for the lecture. This is His Grace Kalakantha Prabhu. Let us welcome him by loudly chanting Hari Bol! I would like to give a brief introduction to Prabhu. Kalakantha Prabhu is the GBC Minister of Cow Protection and Agriculture since 2015. He is born in Brazil from a family of farmers and agriculture professors. Son of a Cambridge PhD professor and researcher, he has worked and visited almost all ISKCON farm communities in the last 30 years and holds a degree in agriculture. Kalakantha Dasa believes in the power. Kalakantha Prabhu believes in the power of producing food for the upliftment of consciousness. He's building a platform, Feed the Earth, an online and on-site educational program around abundant Krishna-conscious living with ethical cow protection and regenerative agriculture. The platform, Feed the Earth, offers practical courses on regenerating the planet through a kind of agriculture which regenerates community, produces abundance, and integrates bovines in an ethical way. Bovines are cows. Probably not many know this term. The first module, Taking Care of Krishna's Cows, has been successfully launched globally, and the regenerative farming module called Systems of Abundance. Systems of Abundance will also be the topic of today's lecture. In the Vedic perspective, is to be launched early 2025. He was part of the 2024 C20 meetings organizational team on food systems, poverty and hunger held in Brazil. He currently oversees the ISKCON Continental Farm Conferences cycle run by vibrant continental networks. These networks of representatives are already established in many places and expanding. So Kalakantha Prabhu, he's visiting for a few days. He just came from Radhadesh and is on his way to Germany. And since we know each other for quite some time, we invited him to Zurich. Yesterday we went to visit two farms, the Vaikuntha farm and also the farm of Divyananda Prabhu, where they also do cow protection. And today we have him here at the temple. He already gave 2 classes today, and this is the 3rd. And the topic, as I already mentioned, is Systems of Abundance. So thank you, Kalakantha Prabhu, for coming to Zurich. Actually, after 40 years, he came back to Zurich. So we are very fortunate.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
I will chant a little bit, yes. Maybe you can play the harmonia. Hare Krishna. It is a very good afternoon to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure to be here, and this is a new experiment that we are making. For the last 9 years, I've traveled to 30 countries, visiting our 65 farms of our ISKCON. And I realized that now the big work, once the farms are a little bit more connected, they feel there's some hope for them. Yes, please come. I'm very peaceful. I'm from South America. We are usually very friendly. And I realized we need to come closer to the people who are living in the urban dwellings, because there's so much happening on our planet. There is so many crises. We need really to be very attentive, and we need to have a certain attitude towards that. So therefore I call Systems of Abundance in the Vedic perspective. And I bring a topic for you which is called Dharma and Dharani. So Dharma and Dharani is the topic today. A brief explanation. when we look at the organic farms today here in Switzerland, which are so many, I was surprised to see how the Swiss people are so grounded. The water is very good, maybe because they had cows on the mountains, so some kind of special gifts came to them, even they didn't know. But you see that people usually are very sober, even though they're very rich. They're not like the Americans who like to show their wealth in every corner. So it's an interesting picture. And I could see that Switzerland is a really good place to start. So I decided to visit the different communities, urban temples, and share to you what's happening really in the world that we could put the lenses of the Vedic perspectives to look at. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to start with, if our Zoom internet links, but I think it will. We'll chant Hare Krishna for it to become more inspired. I call it Dharma and Dharani in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So while the IT experts dwell with that, let's chant a little bit so we can attract good vibrations. That's always good. Some people coming for the first time, I was looking back. Who's coming for the first time? Could you raise your hand so I have an idea? Okay, I have one. Where are you coming from?
I'm Zurich.
Zurich, okay. And where are you coming from? No. I'm new here, so excuse me. Exxon is Buchse? Well, I don't know how I'll survive with that, but where is Switzerland? It's also Swiss. Okay. So only you two are for the first time. Okay, well that's good. So everybody's acquainted with our philosophy. All right. So do you have harmonium? Do you know the mantra Jai Radha Madhava? Everybody does? 0108. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadari Gopi Janna Yashodanandanam Prajajanaranjanam Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadari Gopi Janna Yashodanandanam Braja Janarandanam Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Rama Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandanam Braja Janaranjanam Yashodanandanam Braja Janaranjanam Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Mandava Tunga Bihari Jaya Radha Mandava Tunga Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandanam Braja Janaranjanam Yashodanandanam Braja Janaranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada ki Gaura Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Didn't work. Yes. See, Krishna didn't want me to show you. I prepared. I was late for the class because I was preparing, but he didn't want me not to show you. But we still have something here. I could perhaps. You have a computer? Yeah, I can send it the presentation and you can take the link. Is that okay? But you need to tell me your email. I guess because we're going to talk about simple living, the machines are they're taking a revenge on us, right? So that could be the cause. Let's just do one thing very quickly here. Yes, I have it here. I just need to send it to... does anybody know his email address from here? Here, you can just type it here and send, and you'll receive it. If it comes, it's because Krishna wanted. If it doesn't come, I'll tell you. I will create a visual imagery, like the ancients used to do. Okay? But it's true, I do speak a lot against these machines, and they do take their challenge, their revenge. See, confirm every now and then. So it's a pleasure, as I was saying, to be here. It's 41 years since I was in Zurich. I was a teenager coming by with my parents. He was in Cambridge, and we were teenagers. Says, my father, we are so close to Europe, the famous Europe. Won't you show us Europe? So we convinced him to drive a trailer around, and we came from Lyon. We came to the Alps, and it rained, and it fogged. And you know what it is at night in the Alps? We don't know what the road is, when the cliff is, and everybody's, if we're in the middle of the road, where we are. But finally we came, and something mystical happened. As we came, the sun came, and we saw beautiful Switzerland. I remember until today, those beautiful mountains, and there was some kind of farms and natural life around Switzerland, which stayed in my back of my mind. I guess that's why I chose this destination. Actually, I could choose any destination in Europe at that time. I had the free will, but I came here. Of course, Damodar Prasada Prabhu, he is a great friend. We were together in America, in D-Land. His spiritual master wanted to help this mission, so he started a farm there. And when he did that, he was invited and we were working together. So that also added to the picture. But I saw a very different Switzerland, I must say. Richer, the vibe is more like Europe, it's like a big country. Like before there were so simple cars and simple houses, now this, everybody has the best of it. But at the same time, very humble. I appreciate that. No? He's disagreeing with me. It's all right. So I was only a teenager, so you can excuse 41 years of faded memory. But today's topic is really about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Dharma and Dharani. Let me start by Dharani. Do you know what Dharani or who Dharani is? It could take him, but there's another personality which we call Dharani. She takes the form of a very nice animal. Okay, so I'll tell you. Dharani is referred to the planet Earth, but also to Mother Cow. So the cow is considered Dharani because she is a benevolent creature. She's always giving. Everything about her is very special. Even the excrement of a cow is the source of abundance. And if we get to see the slideshows, I'll show you one person who went to India and he discovered that. His name was Albert Howard, Sir Albert Howard, the father of organic farming. What about Dharma? Who is Dharma? Not sure. There are two questions. What is Dharma? It's a very big question. Who is Dharma? A shorter question. As I look around, are you afraid to say? Courageous, right? We're learning together.
Dharma means religion, real religion.
Yes, religion. Yes, Dharma is your intrinsic nature, what you do forever. For example, what is the Dharma of fire?
Heat.
Yes, heat and light. You can never separate heat and light from fire. It's intrinsic. If you say fire, you immediately say heat and light. What about water? What is the Dharma of water?
Liquid.
Yes, has to go back to liquid. You can freeze it to go back to liquid. You see, we have these ice caps on our planet, and they're slightly melting, and everybody's worried, especially Holland, because it can go very high, the ocean. So, Dharma, yes, is that intrinsic nature, but it's represented by a certain personality. One animal, I'll give a clue.
Cow.
The cow is Dharani,
Oh no, it's the boy.
is the bull. So in the Vedic tradition, Dharma, besides being... You got it? Ah, see, by the blessings of Shishigornitai, you get to see the show. Yes. Dharma and Dharani in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You want me to? Because then it will be easy. Oh, is really? It can't be shown, right? Because of the... Okay. Yes, so we won't go for that. I can see beautiful mountains here. That's all I can see. Right? So, but I know what's there in general. So let's go for it. So, can anybody read who's got a strong... Let me take this gentleman at the back with good posture.
Reading this?
Yes?
Our farm projects are an extremely important part of our movement. We must become self-sufficient by growing our own grains and producing our own milk. Then there will be no question of poverty. So develop these farm communities as far as possible.
This is none other than our founder Acharya saying this. And let me take someone randomly, right? So I can choose you randomly. This is the advantage of being this chair. It's only 20 centimeters high, but you have a certain potency. So Right from the back, I see a gentleman. What is your name? Hey, it's you.
Vanilla.
Vanilla. What a nice name. Where are you from, Vanilla? Switzerland. Oh, that's wonderful. Why do you think our founder Acharya would have given us such an instruction? We're all about yoga, the holy names, transcendence, spirituality. What does farm community have ever to do with that? I guess. One word? It's anything which comes to your mind. It hasn't to be the final answer, just a thought. Go on, courage.
Sorry, my English is not very good.
I can understand you perfectly. I just saw the small picture. What do you see? Why he wanted we live together, produce food together, food, clothes, and why? Okay, let's get some help. Why do you think? Let's help Vanilla.
I think because without cows, the cows give us everything to survive.
It's a good thing. The cows give everything that you need to survive. That's a good idea. Any other ideas? From the back. This young lady here.
About the cows?
No, about the communities. Why he wanted us to produce food, produce our grains. Any idea?
But to care about the planet. If we don't care about each other and the plants and the living things around us, then it will be adharma. So by acting, we learn to be more, a little bit more like sattvic in the nature. So by acting, we're working on ourselves actually. It's a deeper. So by serving each other, learning, and two generations,
That's a beautiful answer.
Okay.
And I have someone here who lives that. He lives in India. He's my neighbor when I'm there. He goes to the villages and he offers food and he chants and he shares his heart. Mahashingra, Chi, why do you think our founder Acharya gave such an instruction?
Because it's a gift from God. Just to save our time instead of going to the manufacturer. We can get our own natural manufacturer, like meat and a cow. And we don't need to be employed in the big company, commercial company. The cow doesn't need anything, just the most popular plants like the grass is available almost everywhere. And then instead of to be employed anywhere and lose your time for actually little money, the cow and the land will give us everything to live, and then you can focus on spiritual life.
Excellent concept. In other words, if you are self-sufficient, you don't have to run around so much, and more time to share kirtan, to glorify, to understand who you are, to self-realize. Fantastic. Okay, thank you, Mahashingra. And he says that from the heart. He practiced that. And Prabhupada said that statement. Let's take the young man next to you. What is your name?
Narada.
Narada. You look like a happy, bright young man. What did Prabhupada say about cow protection? Can you read this?
Yes. Without protection of cows, Brahminical culture cannot be maintained.
Oh, some implications is coming. Because we're all about Brahminical culture. Offering artik, puja, distributing prasada, chanting, all of this is Brahminical. So Prabhupada is saying without one, there's no the other. So it's starting to see that there is a connection between the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and this idea Prabhupada gave us. And why this is important? Well, first of all, we had the COVID. I don't know here, but in India we couldn't go anywhere. The people couldn't drive anywhere. We were repatriated. India was completely blank. There was not one little dog on the streets. It looked like I was in a different planet. I had never had that experience because it stopped the world. Did it happen here too? Everything stopped? Not everything. Didn't affect you so much, the COVID. They tried, but didn't happen. Okay, you're kind of strong and said, no, we'll go. But in many parts, it was very disastrous. India, in Brazil, it stopped. In many places, the economy went down, companies crashed. Another reason is that, well, some people in Ukraine and Russia now can feel it. I hear the Middle East have some trouble. South Korea and China kind of negotiating. India and China. South Africa is not in a good shape. Something's happening there. So it looks like there are explosions here and there of this. And finally, I don't know here, but everything is going very expensive everywhere. So it seems that we are always getting trapped into a bigger and bigger system where you have less and less control over everything. And now we have given an introduction. Let's go to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his mission, right? And you see him there in ecstasy, chanting the holy names. Is there any good singer here? Or any singer? Let's take the good, too much pressure. You're a good singer. I know, I've been singing, I'm looking for new ones. So, okay, taking you. Can you just sing for one quick melody? We just sing twice. In glory to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we continue. So nice. So the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Damodar Prasad Prabhu, I would like to ask your reading.
For a long time I have not bestowed unalloyed loving service to me upon the inhabitants of the world. Without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless.
This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling, what is his mission in this world? Yes, please.
I shall personally inaugurate the religion of the age, Nam Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy, realizing the four mellows of loving devotional service.
And there is the Lord in Sri Mayapur Dham. Have you been to the Parikram? And you really feel that mission, right? So what he's doing. And he goes on in his mission. Can you continue?
I shall accept the role of a devotee, and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. Unless one practices devotional service, Dharma, himself, he cannot teach it to others.
See.
This conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and Bhagavatam.
Just see. The Lord is personally doing, because he's telling us, unless you do this, you cannot get the result. And then there's the word Dharma in between. That comes in the translation of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Devotional service put as Dharma there. And why? Remember discussing that Dharma is the bull, Dharma is religion, Dharma is intrinsic nature. So there seems to be a connection which we're going to try to explore. And there he is. That's the gift you get, that embrace and smile of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And finally, he finalized his mission.
Therefore, in the company of my devotees, I shall appear on earth and perform various colorful pastimes. Thinking thus, the personality of God, Sri Krishna himself, descended at Nadia early in the age of Kali.
Okay? So he's concluding how he's going to do this. And then there's a certain mood. Okay, that's the mission. But what is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Anybody else would like to read? With a green shirt. What's your name, Prabhu? Rasashraya. Rasashraya. Okay, I got it.
Distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates did not consider who was a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Wherever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva distributed love of God.
So that's the mood. It's inclusive. It's for everyone. Not only is he giving for free that love, but it's for everyone. So that's the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood. Okay? Now we're going to move forward to see how that connects with our topic of today. And Srila Prabhupada, in his youth, he was very influenced by Gandhi, by ecological movements, liberation movements in India. And right there in India, he got a lot of inspiration. And this is something that happened in New Vrindavan in 1969. In one of the first projects he was there. Damodar Prasad, let me ask you again.
Our farm projects are an extremely important part of our movement. We must become self-sufficient by growing our own grains and producing our own milk. Then there will be no question of poverty. So, develop these farm communities as far as possible.
Okay, we've read that before. And then, here's Sir Albert Howard. He had a very good quality, two good qualities. One, he was British. And the second, he was humble. A rare combination. But he had it. Why do I say this? Because he came to teach the Indian people how to farm with technological farming. But his production was here, the native Indian production was here. So he could not teach them. So he gave it up, and he became the father of organic farming. So all these organic movements you see started from India, the indoor system. It came to France with Madame Bafleur, with the agriculture biologique, and it came to Germany with Steiner, with his school of Theosophic and the biodynamic school of farming. It went to America with Rotterdale, but he was the seed of this movement in the West. Something that in India was done for centuries and centuries. Now they're forgetting. And he wrote so many statements. One of them was, the health of the soil, the plant, the animal, and the human is one and indivisible. So he's saying that the goal is to make the soil healthy, then everyone will be healthy in the system. And today, unfortunately, we think the soil is just a place to put the crops, a deposit of the roots. And we can add anything else we want, with very hard consequences to the planet. This is the power that he's talking about. The Shakti of Dharma. Look at that. What a beautiful brigade of soldiers. How much power is there? And all self-sufficient. That bull ate a little grass, and as a waste, his cow dung is used for fuel, building, is used for fertilization. The cause of Indians' fertility was that. It is said that the flora of the cow healthy and the flora of a healthy soil are very much interconnected. That's why when you spread that manure, you are putting so much biological nutrition that that soil becomes strong and abundant. And that's how India, through millennia, was productive, not going down, because they had so many cows, which was constantly fertilizing their system. So that was the Indian organic farming. I find this quite interesting because you're going to contrast it very soon. Dharani, we've explored. The living soil concept, we've explored. This is here in Hungary. They are using the bulls to cut grains. And now they create a whole building which is about 10 times the temple room size. And the bulls go around and around. And on the other side there's an engine. And they cut wood, thresh grains. They have about 10 machines, which is their energy. Completely clean off the grid. That's an answer to fossil fuels. Very, very, very significant. Yes, and this is more about Dharani, but I want to introduce this gentleman. I don't know if you know him. He looks like a bad guy, doesn't he? In a movie. Look at his glasses, the way he's looking at you. He's holding his chin in a very interesting way. What do you think was his idea? Right on the back, from 1978.
Not to destroy a world.
Not to destroy? Quite the opposite. He had so much left over from the war industry, and he said, what are we going to do with this? So he started experimenting for agriculture. And he found all the granulate fertilizers, NPK, and then so many insecticides that he could use from the chemical war. And that became your chemical farming. Now you had thousands of farms to take those products. And that's what he did. Well, do you know what the rate is of farmer suicides in India today? In that period, actually? 95 to 2014, something like 20 years. How many farmers committed suicide, would you say? Too many, but how many? 250,000. Who gives more? Who gives less? We will take five guesses. Whoever gets the best guess, I'll try to find something nice for you at the end of the lecture. 1 million. We have 2. We need 3 more. Who gives more? In the audience? 5 million. Okay. Whoever gets closer might get this nice something. He will manifest for me. We need 2 more guesses.
3 million.
3 million. We're getting high. We're very, very... Okay. Any more? Any more? Last one.
3.5
3.5 million. My God. I was getting worried. 250. Who said 250? He's an informed gentleman. But that's a lot of people. And why? Because the technological package offered to India fails the farmer. He puts in money, infrastructure, he doesn't have the capital to hold, he's in debt, the farmer is a righteous person, he cannot live with the idea of owing some money, so he just takes his life away. And that's the basis of this that's chemical farming. It's agrochemicals, genetic modification, and motor mechanization. That's the basis of that revolution. And how they treat the cows. And that's what it is. It's a product of war. It is, there you go, isn't it? It's just like the war. But I came here with a specific message. The boat is sinking. I'd like someone to read this joke. Can anybody read the joke? Can you?
Sure, glad that whole isn't at our end.
He's happy that the boat is not sinking on his end. He doesn't understand it's one boat. It's one climate, and it's getting hot, you know? I'm getting feeling sometimes it's getting very hot in some places. In Japan, believe it or not, they're selling oxygen. And many years ago, I thought selling water was a big thing. But now they're selling oxygen. Mind you that in India, some 78 years ago, nobody, or very few people sold milk. Milk was a free commodity. You come to somebody's house, they'll give you milk. And if we are talking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, it was an obligation. A sadhu came to your house, you had a cow, and you gave him milk. Because the idea is milk is a right, just like water. But you see now today, oxygen is being sold. And Srila Prabhupada just says, all this just create imbalance in the natural self-sufficient idea of the world. You know? Now, just to give a bigger picture of how the boat is sinking, this is North America, the Midwest. They've lost around damage. 200 million hectares is damaged of topsoil. And you've seen those wind bowls, those events. It's happening. This institute was created to help them, but 1/3 of our topsoil globally is damaged in some way. They say we only have 60 harvests, the pessimists. I say if we continue the way we are, it might be more, but we're definitely going towards a decline in production. I feel it in North America. When I travel in North America, there's a certain deadness on the environment. You feel it. It's different. Switzerland still has a lot of life. When you are, because of so many mountains, the machines can't really go like this, so you have small machines. It helps you. And all it's connected to carbon, okay? I'm trying to bring this knowledge, so I give you a picture. When you put everything together, the boat is sinking. That's a natural system. The tree gets carbon, gets light, and it makes the bark, the roots, all this is stored in the soil. Like that, 40% stays in the soil. But when you farm the other way, all this carbon, it starts to be released. It's in the soil, you're releasing it, and it starts to be released. When you have a regenerative farming, it holds, the other system liberates. Now look at that. The soil can keep 4 times more than the plants, and about 6 times, 5, 6 times more than the air. So our farming today is impacting the way the planet is. We never thought like that. Oh, what's the problem? I just buy it. The planet's so big, it will never sink. Just like the Titanic. Some people who are in the Titanic, imagine we are in the Titanic, this is the hull of the Titanic here. And somebody comes in and says, the boat is sinking. And someone, Titanic sinking? Come on, never. And somebody could say, really? So we don't know where we are, if we're startled, or if we're informed, if we have the solution, but we just see the phenomenon happening. And that's the process. What did we do? All the carbon that stayed deep inside as fossil fuels, we drilled Mother Earth, we took it out, put it in a machine, and we burn it back in the air. Look how intelligent. Mother Earth takes millions of years to capture the carbon, put it down as a fossil fuel. This smart, genius civilization, no. We put it down, we take it back, and we burn it back in. It's going to work forever. We're starting to see the limits of that. Shortage, war. Who followed the Iraq war? That was about chemical machines. It's about oil inside. And we could go on and on, but political science is not my area. So I'll move to another subject. Just if you look at temperature, when you have a bare soil, look at the temperature compared to where there is vegetation. And at night, it's the opposite. Where there's vegetation, it's hotter, like a desert. That's very cold at night and very hot in the day because there's no buffer to balance it out. We're starting to get some of that phenomenon in our... And the more we till the soil, the more carbon we liberate, the worse the soil is. So that's a cycle that we are not talking about. The media just say, no, 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 this is how you do it. Keep doing it. It doesn't matter. Some people too, affected by that. But it's not reality. That's what you used to get fertilized in the 60s. That's what you need to do the same amount of wheat now. Look at that. Triple. I'm just giving you some data. Look at that farming. It's not like Aliens, sci-fi movie. They landed in a planet, and these guys with pesticides, doing everything like that. There he is again. Most chemicals use glyphosate. Glyphosate, look at that molecule, looks so interesting, kills the plants which you don't need. That's why they spray glyphosate in North America. Gradually I'm losing my audience. Yes, I had that feeling, but it's okay. We're getting there. And now look at the cancer rate where the glyphosate is. See if you can see any familiarity. The dark blue is more than 100 cases of cancer, of lung cancer. Go back. The glyphosate. Look at the cancer. Any similarities? The East Coast, the Midwest. It's scary. 3 liters per person. Now they discovered that mothers who take the glyphosate, the child can have autism and other things like this. Monsanto got 2 billion fine in North America because people started to realize. And of course, you have poor land, poor people, and they get, economy breaks down, there's things, and then you get the immigration because they think that's where the money is, I have to go there. And so many die on the way, so many die on the river, on the ocean, and some make it to make a decent living where it's supposed to be the wealthy part of the planet. Yeah? Okay. I didn't lose everybody. I was just trying to give you a dark picture, but it's a real picture. But usually we don't see it like this. We see it diluted here and there, so we don't get a full picture. All of these other boxes are the solutions, and there's so many people working for it. Going back to original slide, where we're talking of Dharma and Dharani, talking about Mother Earth and the cow and the bull, they have a beautiful relationship with our philosophy. And this philosophy which we're preaching is so powerful because we can not only change hearts and purify minds and karmas, we can give people a real perspective of having a different world. We can make a difference. This is a young man. Prabhupada is still continue to talk about that. We want a new paradigm, a holistic paradigm. And we want to go from mechanical system to living systems. We need life, not dead metal. It's a very important shift of consciousness. And one thing which happens is, we need to reach the mode of goodness, which Switzerland is quite good in many ways. I see there's so many things here. But I brought 3 quotes which try to show us why mode of goodness is important. Do you speak English? Okay, can you read that first one? Look at that. So mode of goodness is part of that. We have another reader, volunteer. Yes, Narada?
One has to rise at least to the mode of goodness before the path to understanding the Supreme Lord.
Wonderful. Is that your father?
That is my father.
No? Yes? Could you read the last one?
Yes. There are 3 modes of material nature: modes of ignorance, modes of passion, and modes of goodness. Therefore, if anyone wants to know the signs of God, then he has to keep himself on the modes of goodness. Otherwise, he cannot.
Okay, so now get into something we can do. And this is what one farmer is proposing. Prema culture. Does it sound interesting? I liked it. I thought it was very interesting. Because there's this prema culture, then there's ecology, then there's the mode of goodness, and then there is bhakti. So when you go to a living systems of abundance that considers that path of bhakti, then you're starting to go on a path of prema culture. I love the concept. But he's not only good at concept, he's good at showing it. That's a spreadsheet. Every little dot is a plant mapped on that sheet. It's only 1,200 square meters. It is for one person to maintain. 5 to 10 can eat from there, can live from that plot. It's simple, accessible, and now it's an experimental stage. But it's working. I just saw it. It's beautiful. All these different plants cooperating. Just to give you an idea, slugs was considered a national pest for Belgium, for some parts of Germany, from Holland. But he was able to go around it. How? Basically, he puts compost in his beds. And the slug needs he needs soil to slide. But compost is very grainy, so he doesn't like it. So he left. He didn't have to kill it. He said, oh, what a blessing. The slugs did not destroy us. And that's what it is. Look at that bottom 6 parts, a greenhouse, and everything together. He has the whole design of a shed, and how that can feed 10 people. Now, if that works, you can replicate it. 2, 3, 4. And then you'd say, how come it has 100 people? You need 10 units. I thought that was a brilliant idea. And I'm sharing with you because I was inspired. His name is Thibaut. And he's really a very good person. And what he's trying to show is in nature there's a certain natural system which is given by God, where when you look at the forest, there's emergent trees, high trees, medium trees, and low trees. Everybody's working together, harvesting sunlight. But they're living on that. So what we do is we cut the forest to plant grasses. Our system is going from the complex forest to the simple farmland. That's what we're doing. He's proposing, let's start with some grasses and get to the forest. So if you have a system like that, like a food forest, this system, it can be very nice. And I'm coming to the end. Look at that. That's Brazil. It's a better system, right? There's shade, there's grasses. It's not ideal yet, but still better than the other systems. Dharma and ecology. I think the Vedic agriculture. Yes, that was my cue to stop. Krishna in Vrindavan with his cows. Krishna has cows and he goes to the forest. The cows and the forest are 2 matrix of abundance in this planet. When you protect them, they manifest everything we need. So we need farming systems which do like that. Now, what's the message for this wonderful Zurich members, visitors, associates, dwellers of this temple? The message is, for the first time I'm coming as an experimental tour to see, can we do something together? Can you start farming a pot in your balcony with flowers for Jagannath and bring it on Sunday? Can you do a little bit of vegetables for the deities? Do you have a backyard? Can you use your backyard for Krishna? Do you have a farm? Do you want to grow for Krishna? Why not start a little club, a little group, discussion? What can we do together? Can we support existing farmer? What can we do? I'm sure you're all very intelligent and well structured. You can come up with something. So my visit was to provoke a thinking process that, well, if we come up with something, maybe I could come back sometime and see and help and see what we can do together. But the idea is, wherever you are, if you live here or elsewhere, you can take this idea. Maybe we can do something more connected to nature. I got short. I was going to put your slide sleeping on that farm, but I didn't manage to. Yes. Okay, so I'll end here. Of course, this was a seminar for a whole week. I tried to condense a little presentation. But if you have questions, if you have like corrections or interventions, you're very welcome to do so now. And it's open the floor. Yes.
I have a question, Prabhu. Thank you for your presentation. Often I feel when this topic comes up, for many it's so far away and in a sense irrelevant. But we know that this is a lifestyle of goodness, and we also, from studying our scriptures, we hear how goodness is actually on a material platform the solution to many problems. And how can, maybe you can say something how this lifestyle connected to nature and taking care of nature, living in a symbiotic environment, how this can help us on many, many different levels. So what I want to say is, how is it actually really relevant for us, for our problems we have, and which we cannot connect with this aspect of life?
Thank you. That's a beautiful question. And I was asked the same question when I talked to leaders of different, like the ISKCON leader of China. I talked to him. I would like to present for you. He said, "How is it relevant for a Chinese person? This, we don't have cows in China to start." He said, and my answer to him was simple. Was basically this: our planet is getting sick, and we are tied in our day-to-day laissez-faire, like my activities. I have to work, I have bills to pay, I have crisis to take care of. I live in a city, the cost is high. This is my world. This is like a dream, a little utopia you're presenting to me, right? She's shaky, she said, yes, you got my point. But here comes the point. Once you start thinking about it, you start to say, what is it I can make different today? And there's so many things you can make different today. For example, if you start with a pranayama activity in the morning, you already change a lot of your brain set. If you understand like time is in social media, you already improve a lot of your day. Now, this is a whole other level. When you put organic food, when you have time to go into your garden, when your life allows you that luxury, your consciousness starts to harvest a different mindset. I started a farm at 51 years old, from zero, to show that maybe if I can do it in a semi-arid Brazil full of thorns, maybe you can do it in this beautiful large Switzerland. Now, how is it more relevant? It's more relevant because our founder Acharya says, if you stay stuck in your jobs, your sadhana will suffer very much. Your time of meditation will decrease, because once the pressure of the job comes, the first thing you cut is your sadhana. Tomorrow I have to send this report, oh my God, Krishna, just, and you send it. You send it. And like this, it's cutting. First we cut from sadhana, then from family, and like this, so the work starts to take your day, grabbing your day, because harder and harder to exist. Then how does that affect consciousness? Now you start losing taste, you start to become a little distant, maybe it's not so important this, and life is so hard. Or maybe you take a totally different approach. I'm tired of work, I'm off, I'm just going to go to a farm community, I'm going to chant, and then you find yourself with material needs you cannot take care of, and you feel yourself in a difficult spot. So for both situations, karma and jnana. Karma is I want to engage in the job, jnana I want nothing to do with it. We need to be equipped with knowledge, how to do it, how much to do it, in what stage. So if as a congregation you start thinking about this, you say, maybe in 5 years' time I could have a back garden. Maybe. Maybe my job would allow me to work only 5 days a week. maybe I find something else which gives me more time. It's called social engineering. How I adjust my life so I can do this. If I'm already liberated, I'm not working for anybody, I'm autonomous, how can I produce food and support farmers better? How can I link to them? So all these conversations leads to a situation where you have access to pure food, you're helping someone, your consciousness may be improving because you have more time, more sattva in your life. And then all of a sudden, relevance, you start to say, why do I need to run so much? Huh? What am I going to get after I'm 80? I'm not going to take all with me. Practically I'm not going to take anything. I'm just going to go. Maybe maximum with my subtle body for the next body. So experiences are extremely important to shape our subtle body. So when your subtle body is being prepared, when you reach the final moment to leave this body, you have so many sattva experiences which allows you to do so. I did a major radical change in my life. I was with a business, I was going to do a master degrees in organic farming, my father's a PhD, everybody wanted me to follow him, I quit everything and went to Mayapur for the sake of my 2 daughters. Now you can imagine, I'm here in Mayapur now, some of you have been there, and I have no proper income, and there's a family, but my wife is a teacher, she was teaching at the school, we had a place to stay, some food. That change of paradigm is like someone riding a bike when you say, what if I stop pedaling? Will I fall? And I stopped work and I didn't fall. Actually, the opposite happened to me. Every time throughout our working life, we're always on the red of our credit. Always in debt. Oh, a little bit we went into the credit, a little bit in the check, a little bit into this. When I changed there, all my credit cards, all these fees stayed behind. And I used envelopes. And I put January, February, March, April, until December. Do you know what happened? I have never been on the red again for 15 years. My rent was paid whole year ahead. The electricity was paid a year ahead. The housing was paid. So I was there, and I knew everything is paid for. Now I can study. I can give time for my self-realization. So I went deep into philosophy and finally into seva. So I'm here doing seva with you. I could be running some job, company, doing something, but I'm here sharing with you. So the impact it has, it can lead you to a position. We just had Mahashinga. He made a very radical decision. He went to my